Yeah, let's talk about the Lakers, the Clippers, and kind of walk down the board here. Lakers are off to a 12-4 start. Luka Doncic just is a different player now than he was a year ago. Obviously, the offseason weight training has allowed him to play a lot more minutes. He's averaging 32 points per game. LeBron is back. Austin Reeves is red hot. And a real interesting story. The Lakers have signed shooting forward Drew Timme. Remember him? Gonzaga star.
Yeah.
He played for the Brooklyn Nets. He played pretty well for the Brooklyn Nets after playing the last 2 years in the NBA G League, and then Brooklyn let him go. He averaged 12 points a game for Brooklyn, so the kid can stroke it, and the kid plays well amongst the bigs. He went to the G League, and he averaged 28 points per game. So the Lakers are looking for first guy off the bench who can shoot and score. So they're going to give Drew Timme a chance somewhere during the course of the season. He just signed over the weekend. Let's talk Clipper basketball. Their offseason deals have failed. I was really hopeful that all these rentals that they got at the last minute would come in and play alongside the two established stars, and it's not happened because Kawhi Leonard and Zubac are not getting a lot of help. James Harden is having to carry the whole thing. The Clippers are 5-12 and really playing poor. Harden scored 55 on Saturday night. Think about that. Anybody seen Brook Lopez, John Collins, Nick Batum, Bogdanovich? Those guys have been MIA. There have been no contributions whatsoever from any of those guys to take the workload off James Harden and the other two veterans. It's like the Clippers are playing as a three-man team right now, and they've lost Brad Beal for the year. Hip fracture surgery. They've asked the NBA for a salary cap exemption. This guy is always hurt. This guy turns out to be a bad acquisition. They have 5 established players on their roster who are not contributing anything to the Clippers. So we'll talk about that. Denver Nuggets is a really sad story. You might recall the name Rodney Rogers, first-round draft pick, big 6'9" power forward, played at Wake Forest, was a really good player in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Came into the league and played extensively and played really, really well as a rebounder, and he could score some. Rodney Rogers has passed away at the age of 51. He played 12 years in the NBA, was an outstanding defensive player, rebounder, a multi-time all-star player. He suffered a bad spinal cord injury once he retired off-roading. He was a paraplegic, lived his life in a wheelchair. He died from the spinal cord complications over the weekend. He set up foundations. He took all the money he made in the NBA and he poured it into foundations to do research for spinal cord injuries to kids.
Oh, nice.
Hell of a guy. Passed away. Very sad story over the weekend. Rodney Rogers, formerly of the Denver Nuggets, number 1 pick, and at Wake Forest. Not a nice story is what's gone down in Memphis. This public feud between Ja Morant, his coaching staff, the media, the fans, and now it involves Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson ripped Ja Morant, tired of his act. Here's Morant sitting in civvies on the bench, barking at Klay Thompson about his team in San Antonio and all that. And finally, Klay Thompson just unraveled, started finger pointing at Morant during an argument. They had to separate the two. What's Morant walking on the floor for during a timeout, barking at Klay Thompson? And then he bagged on him in the post-game press conference, saying, you're wasting your career, you're being a sideshow, you get paid to perform on the court in Memphis and produce, and you're not acting like that. Whew. Klay Thompson rips Ja Morant. So, John, don't shoot an air ball. Your comments, Lakers, Clippers, the sadness in Denver, and all things bad in Memphis.
Well, you know, do you see the highlight reel of what Luka did? And I think they were playing the Jazz, and he tipped the ball away and started a break, a fast break, and he bounced the ball through the legs of one of the Jazz bigs, then got the ball back, continued the dribble, and then lofted up an alley-oop. I mean, that was awesome. I mean, so good on the Lakers. They have a nice fast start. I mean, the Clippers, I think Steve Ballmer's getting ripped off here. I mean, all these old guys that aren't contributing. I mean, we kind of had some, glimmers of hope with the Clippers, thinking that maybe with these veterans, maybe take a little bit of the burden off of Kawhi, and maybe, just maybe, they might be sort of competitive. But
One last chance.
But now, yeah, the whole thing's gone to hell in a handbasket. I do remember Rodney Rogers. That's an interesting story you shared about him. But you said he passed, right? So, salute to Rodney. And then, yeah, John Morant's a problem. I mean, that's what Klay Thompson was saying, that, Morant's just wasting his talent. He should be on the floor showing up, everybody. But, Morant's got, I remember this little kid used to tell me, he goes, AM, PM, anger management problems, man. That's what John Morant has. I mean, so he's got to screw loose. He's got to get that fixed.
You're an NBA fan. Feel free. Shoot a 3-pointer. Get here. The Fans Forum chat box is open. We go from that.